Okay, so we are going to go over the ingredients. The first thing that you'll need today is elbow macaroni, and we're going to use about half of a box. So if you don't have a full box, that's okay. Or if you have a different shaped pasta, that's okay too. This is your mac and cheese. You'll need butter, about 4 tablespoons. So I think I have 4 tablespoons here. You'll need flour, salt and pepper, milk, which mine is still in the fridge, cheese, 2 cups of cheese, so about 1 bag of shredded cheese, again, mine's still in the fridge, breadcrumbs, and then parsley as a seasoning. Again, this is also your mac and cheese, so if you are changing it up a little bit, if you want to add something like vegetables to your mac and cheese, or if you like spiciness and want to add red pepper, you can add that too. Those are all of the food ingredients that you'll need, so feel free to adjust as needed. We have measuring cups, a whisk, measuring spoons, a microwave safe bowl, and then you'll need 2 pans. You can see mine on the stove here. So I have my big one that I'm gonna boil pasta in, and this one, which I'm going to whip up my cheese in. And then you will need your muffin tin. And I have these little silicone muffin things in there, but you can also spray down your muffin tin. So I'm gonna make sure, give everybody a couple minutes to make sure that you have that. You'll also probably need a spoon for mixing. And make sure you've washed your hands. Those were all of our first steps. Let's see. Okay, we're doing good so far. And then if you do have all of that while we're waiting for a second for everybody to make sure they have their ingredients, you can preheat your oven to 425. I'm gonna get that going. Get my water. Flavored water for energy. This weather is making me tired today. If you're just joining us, all we've done so far is go over the ingredients. The recipe was linked in the email I sent earlier if you want to or need to pull that up, but I'll be going slow enough for everyone to follow along. And then we are going to start right now. And if you missed it, I am alone today, so I am monitoring emails if people can't get in, as well as the chat. So please be patient today. I am going to turn my computer. The first step after the oven is to grease your muffin tin, or like I have these little silicone mats. So that's the second step. We're also going to get our macaroni started. So first steps, turn on the oven to 425, grease your muffin tin, and then start your water boiling so that we can get our pasta started. So I'm gonna turn my water on over here and get that going to boiling. I'm also gonna set my muffin tin to the side so that you'll be able to see both my burners here in a second. Some of my stuff. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead, give everybody 1 second to do those 3 things. So if you're just joining us, we turned our oven to 425. We're greasing our muffin tins and we're turning our water on to boil for the pasta. I'm also going to dump a little bit of salt in to my pasta water. Something that my mom taught me to not make your pasta stick together. I'm actually going to switch burners to make it easier. So that's what we should be doing right now. Turn on this light so everyone can see. All right, if you have questions, throw them in the chat. I don't want to go too fast. We do have 45 minutes today for the cooking part, and then they'll finish up in the oven when we're done. But as always, when you are done, I would love to see pictures. I love to see what yours looks like. Everybody's is always different, which is super fun. So we're gonna move a little bit closer here. I live in an apartment, not a ton of kitchen space, but we make do. All right, friends, the next thing we're going to be using is we need another pot, so medium-sized pot. And what we are going to do, I'm gonna roll up my sleeves, I washed my hands. What we are going to do, I need to make sure I always get the right amount of ingredients, is we are going to melt 2 tablespoons of butter. So I have, you can kind of see it, there we go, 4 tablespoons. I'm gonna cut it in half. And we're going to put 2 of those tablespoons into our saucepan. You'll need the other 2 tablespoons later on, just so you know. So I put that right in my pot here. I had it sitting out and it's already melting. Once you get your butter in your pan, you are going to turn that to medium heat. And you want it to melt. Let me know in the chat if you are behind or need a second. Right now, we'll just be melting the butter. You can also get your flour, salt, and pepper on deck so you can get it ready. So my flour is back to hiding back here. Gotta get my pepper out. The flour, salt, and pepper will be our next step while we're melting the butter. Let's see. You can use, I have my whisk, you can use your whisk to stir your melting butter. A little hot. Check on your pasta water here and there. Everybody's will probably be boiling at different points, so we'll make sure to slow down around then. So I'm just stirring my butter still. I'm gonna double check that we don't have any emails. Okay, looks like we're good. Okay, my butter is already starting to melt and it's almost there. Remember, you're melting it on medium heat. Okay, and the next thing that you're gonna want to do is you're wanting to add your flour, salt, and pepper. So for flour, okay, Zoom's going all crazy, here we go. We are going to add 2 tablespoons of flour. So I'm gonna get my 2, I have a half tablespoon here, so I'm gonna add 4 of them. So 2 tablespoons of flour. You're gonna whisk that into your butter and add your salt and pepper as well. It's gonna get clumpy. I'm gonna do my pepper. And my salt. You can measure it out. So it was half a teaspoon of salt and 1/4 a teaspoon of pepper. But I'm just eyeballing it. And then I'll show you what mine looks like. You're gonna want it to be clumpy, or it will be clumpy, which is okay. So you can see mine there in the whisk. Everybody a second, turn mine down for just 1 second. And the next thing you're gonna wanna get out is your milk. Use, I have lactose-free milk, whole milk, but whatever you have on hand. And you're gonna add, I think, your whole cup of milk. Yep, so you're gonna slowly add in the milk. So I'm gonna do 1/2 cup at a time. I'm gonna stir that up with my whisk. I guess we should move this, huh? Stir it up just a little bit with the butter flour. And then you can add your next cup, half cup. Doesn't have to be fully mixed in, just it makes it easier to do half cup at a time. Dump that half cup of milk in there. My allergies are starting to come out. All right, you're gonna mix that in next. So we have in here, we have our butter, our flour, our salt and pepper, and then we just added our 1 cup of milk. And we are going to keep stirring this until it boils, or at least stirring frequently. It doesn't have to be constant. I better turn mine back up. It doesn't have to be constant, but we are going to kind of frequently stir our milk mixture until it boils. This is also a good time to peek over at your pasta water. Mine is almost getting to boiling. You want to keep your milk mixture on medium heat. So yeah, you can keep it just at the heat. Mine was turned down for a little bit, so mine might take a second again, but we are going to stir, stir, stir until it's boiling. You can give it a second, check on your pasta. I'm gonna check on the chat. Everyone seems good. I see a couple other people joined us since I started. Excuse me. I did link the recipe in the email I sent out, and we are currently on step 2 if you are following along. So we have just beat our milk into our flour butter mixture, and we're heating to boiling while stirring is where we're at. We have not done any cheese yet. If you have questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. That's where we're at. I'm going back to stirring this. I'll move the flour now. Mine is about almost boiling, and so is my pasta water. So I am going to dump in my half a box of pasta. So you need half a pound, and my box is 1 pound. So I'm gonna just eyeball it and dump in about half a pound. And call that good. So we're gonna let that boil, I think, for 10 minutes. My mixture is boiling. I am going to, it looks like this. The lighting is bad, but I am going to now stir in to this mixture. You can also turn off your heat, and we're going to get our cheese. I am going to do sharp cheddar and a little bit of mozzarella. So you need 2 cups of cheese, and you can just dump it right into this mixture and mix it up. As soon as you get your cheese stirred in, yeah, we're boiling the macaroni separately in our other pot over here. Once you get your cheese mixed in, you can remove this from the heat. Or if you removed it from your heat, that's okay too. I'm gonna get a spoon to mix my cheese in. I'm gonna set a timer so that we all know when to check our pasta. And I'm going to dump a little bit of my mozzarella in here as well. My pasta's already wants to boil over. You can do whatever cheeses you want. Also, you can make this cheesier if you want, or not as cheesy. I'll show you what mine looks like, hopefully, in a better way in 1 second. I'm still mixing all my cheese. I'm gonna check the chat question. Doing well. Here is what mine looks like. Let me see if I can make the light not so bad. You can kind of see, there we go. It's just a gooey, cheesy blob. That's what my cheese mixture looks like. I am going to set that aside and just give everybody a second to get to that step. So my oven is preheated. We just finished, for the most part, step 2. We're gonna go a little out of order here, just to make the program flow. So I'm gonna let everybody get their cheese mixed in. This is also where you could add extra seasonings if you would like. Okay, I'm already excited about this. I'm gonna give everybody another minute, and then we are going to get our toppings together. He really wants to add more cheese, but I don't know if I need to. I don't know if I added enough mozzarella. So we have our pasta boiling and our cheesy mixture. The next things that you're going to need that you can get out is your butter and that microwave safe bowl. I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely eating these for dinner tonight. So you need your microwave safe bowl and your butter next. We will be continuing this program, just so you all know, where our next one will be, I think, May 11th, and we're going to be making a dessert that night. A simple dessert. So that already is on the website if you haven't registered and would like to join us for that one as well. And then we'll be doing it in June, not July and August. So keep an eye out for those, and they will still continue to be virtual. Well, fingers crossed that we'll maybe get to do some outside programs this summer, but this one will stay virtual. All right, we are going to take our microwave safe bowl and our other 2 tablespoons of butter, and we are going to put our butter in the bowl. Then we are going to microwave our butter, and I think it says on high for 60 to 90 seconds or until melted. So I like to do mine for 30 seconds at a time, just so that it doesn't get too crazy. So we're gonna microwave our butter until it's melted. Let's see. I always have to check my directions. I always feel like I'm missing something. The butter already sounds like it's melting after 10 seconds. And cheese. Okay. So mine might not even have taken 30 seconds. We're gonna take it out and stir it up. And that was, mine really only needed 20 seconds. So whatever it takes for your 2 tablespoons of butter to melt. I am also going to stir my pasta Probably should have done that earlier, but I trusted the salt in there to make it not stick. Once your butter is melted, we are going to add our parsley and our breadcrumbs to it. So this is going to be our toppings of our mac and cheese. Again, this is a step that you could add whatever you want to add to it. So it's going to be a half a cup of breadcrumbs. So I have my 4th cup here, so I'm going to put 2 of them in here. So 1, 2. And then parsley, it is 1 tablespoon, and I just have parsley flakes. Whatever you have is okay. You don't want to add the parsley, you don't have to. 1, 2. And then you are just going to stir that up. Mix it together. It's going to be a nice little crunchy topping for our mac and cheese. Here's what mine looks like. Just a nice little buttery breadcrumb. I think that's good. I am going to check on my pasta. Somewhere I have a slotted spoon. So this might be a good time to check your pasta as well. I like to just take a little noodle out, feel it, taste test it. I think mine needs another minute. I like to double check my box here. Yeah, I'm gonna give mine another, probably, my timer's ready. Probably another 2 minutes, and then we're gonna drain it. So this is a good time to get caught up. If your pasta is done, feel free to drain. Feel free to taste test your cheesy sauce and see if that needs any more. Or kind of get or you, if you're all done with that, you can get your space ready to start putting together your mac and cheese cups. I will be sending out an email after this program with an evaluation form. If you could fill that out, that's really helpful for us when planning in the future. And if you have any suggestions that you would like us to cook for this program, or any ways that we can make this better, we definitely would love to hear it. So make sure you fill out that evaluation form for us. All right, I have mostly cleared my space, and I think I'm about ready to go. When my pasta is done, give it another stir here. Put your cheeses back in the fridge if you're all done with your sauce. Or if you want to, I'm gonna do that. If you want to drizzle a little extra cheese on top with your breadcrumb toppings, you can do that too. If your cheese sauce is starting to kind of harden a little bit, I'm going to turn mine just on low. We will be dumping our pasta into here, and so the heat from that will help too, but I'm going to turn my heat back on just a little bit. All right, I am going to drain my pasta in my sink over here. So whenever your pasta is done, please do the same. These are the last few steps. So if your pasta is still boiling, that's okay. And then we're just gonna dump our pasta right into our cheese. I may have made a couple too many noodles. We'll see once I start mixing in here. So I'm just mixing my noodles into my cheese sauce. Let's see. If you have any questions or concerns, throw them in the chat. I think I am gonna add all my noodles. Perfect. I still have some noodles. I just don't know how to make the perfect amount of pasta. All right. I'm gonna keep mixing it into my cheese sauce. And again, if you need to heat up your pasta or your cheese sauce again, that's okay. All right, mine is nice and cheesy. So here's what mine looks like. You can kind of see that it's very cheesy. And give everybody another second to get to there. And I'm gonna bring my muffin tin back over. So you can do this next to you. I'm gonna keep mine on the stove and just remember that my stove is hot right now. So if you do that, just be careful. Hopefully everyone is about to this step, but this is the last one before we pop it in the oven. So all that we have left to do is fill up our cups with our mac and cheese mixture. You can fill them as full as you want. And then you're going to top it. And I'm gonna do this with you guys. You're gonna top it with your breadcrumbs, and I'm gonna top it with a little bit of extra cheese. Let's see, we're good on time. Make sure we didn't miss any steps. Oh, I don't think we did. So we are just going to start putting these together. So I'm gonna kind of get myself situated so you guys can see. These are gonna be the best little snack and dinner for this week. I'm really excited. All right, so I'm gonna start by getting some of my mac and cheese mixture. And it is gonna be probably a little bit messy. So if you wanna use like another spoon or your finger, you just wash your hands. So I'm gonna scoop it in there. And you can see this is about how full mine is. So pretty full. Get my spoon and just keep filling your cups. Oop, I'm already dropping some. Caught it. And then once you've filled and topped, these are going to bake for about 18 to 22 minutes. Every oven is different, so you will want to check and see when or kind of check on them at about maybe the 15-minute mark and see. You just want your toppings to be kind of toasted and golden. And if your mac and cheese is getting a little brown, whenever you think it's done, but about 18 to 22 minutes. And then you can enjoy these maybe for dinner tonight or as a side. And feel free to send me pictures. I would like to try doing this again someday with different cheeses besides I used the sharp cheddar and mozzarella today. And it looks like mine, I think I had a couple extra noodles, but mine made enough for about 12 cups. Probably could have made a couple more, but I'm just gonna make sure I fill mine up and I'll wash my hands before I do my toppings. Let's see, this one could use some more. All right, that one's really full and dropping things. Okay. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands so I can top these. All right, friends, bring this up. Ooh, it got hot. Like I just said, I was gonna remember it was hot, right? Okay. We are going to now, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sprinkle it on. I'm gonna get messy because I'm always messy while cooking. And then feel free to press down. It's okay if you're messy. Cooking can be messy. You can put as little or as much of this topping on as you want. I really like breadcrumbs, but we'll see how much I have. And I am gonna get out my hot pads in a second to put these in the oven. I thought maybe I would top these with some extra cheese, but they're looking pretty cheesy. I don't know if there's such a thing as too much cheese though. All right, I think I'm gonna have the perfect amount of topping actually. If I could get it in there and not all over my pan. Let's see. All right, friends, those are all topped. You can see how mine look. Here they are. Again, if you want to sprinkle some extra cheese on there or any extra toppings, if you're adding vegetables or anything to your mac and cheese cups, feel free. Also, if you made more than 12, that's okay. I'm gonna pop these in the oven now, and again, about 18 to 22 minutes. I wish this was like a cooking show so that I already had a tray done to show you, but I don't. But I'm excited. I think they'll turn out well. I'm gonna set my timer for about 15 and then check on them then to see how they are. And that's it. When they come out, then they are ready to eat however you like to eat your mac and cheese. If anyone has any questions, now is the time. You can throw them in the chat. or the Q&A. Otherwise, you can send me pictures of your mac and cheese when it's done. I'm really excited to see it, and I'm really glad that you guys joined me today. We actually are ending this early, which never happens. So I'm going to hang out here for a few minutes if anyone is behind or has questions. But thank you all for joining me. Look for that email with the program evaluation, and then send me pictures of your food if you want. I see that someone raised their hand, so if you do have a question, throw it in the chat or the Q&A. That is the best way for me to get to it. Thanks, friends.